I hope you're ready for another season of Nock On, because it is going to be a good one. This week we're going to be going back up to British Columbia once again to continue on that amazing hunt that I was having with Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. Because although I had my grizzly tag filled, I still had yet another black bear tag in my pocket, as did my good friend and guide, Dusty. So we're going to try yet again to get up close and personal with some big old black bears. That right there is what we're looking for. Do you see it? Got the break that we needed. That bear that we saw this morning came back out. See him down there. See that shoulder, and then finally he was turning. That was a smoker shot. Dusty's right over there covering me. Gonna give him a couple minutes. Oh, that's him. After giving the bear a good hour, we walked down to right about where I shot the bear and were quick to find blood and my arrow shaft. It's hard to believe, but my adrenaline was probably double right now what it was when I had actually stalked the bear to make the shot. Following up on a grizzly after the shot can be one of the most dangerous things for a bow hunter, and right here, my heart was pounding. There's my arrow. Sure he's down. Yeah! Thanks, buddy. God! Oh, he's a brute. Great shot. It's a good shot. Yeah! Woo! Oh, what a pumpkin. Can you see those claws? Oh my gosh. Wow. Look at that. That's him.
That's him.
Blonde on the top, dark in the back. Freaking worked out. Can't believe it. All right, well, we got this guy propped up and he is an absolute giant. This is a huge inland grizz, and I've spent a lot of time going after these guys. I always wanted the right color to go with my coastal brown bear that I have mounted at home. I really wanted a frosty tipped inland grizz, and I couldn't have picked a better one to take. A lot of times these bears, you can rarely see them in itself, but then when you do, you have to act fast, and a lot of times they stick to that tight cover. You have limited shot opportunity, you have to act fast, and once you make your shot, things can get dangerous really quick. I could not have had any more adrenaline going than what I had today. So beautiful, beautiful day here in BC. If you want an awesome hunt, I'm telling you, you got to get up here to Lobo Peak Guides and Outfitters. I've been here almost 2 decades now, and this is absolutely the icing on the cake. Nock On TV is brought to you by Hoyt. Get serious, get Hoyt. Under Armour, go where you don't belong. Stealth Cam, game cameras. Redneck, bail blinds. Sure-loc, hunting sights. Nocturnal, lighted nocks. Fuse, hunting accessories. And Yamaha, ATV and side-by-sides, real world tough. I'm John Dudley. I'm an archer. I'm a bow hunter. I am defiant. After about a day and a half of taking care of that grizz, we hopped back in the Viking and covered a lot of logging roads, and we're really focusing on an area where we had seen a really big bear on a previous year. We knew this bear was here. He had a knack for always busting us, but we figured if we were in the area at the right time, we'd have a shot. And as luck would have it, we caught him crossing a road and heading up this steep bank towards the top of the mountain. Down right there. Got the death moan and everything. Tagged out 2 bears. Oh, sweet. We're actually on our way out and saw just another giant bruin crossing the road. Tried running up the hill, but this is so steep I can't even explain it. Made a perfect shot, crashed all the way down. Look at the size of that pad. Huge bear, probably pushing 7 foot, but as you can tell, we're running out of light, so Stay with us. I'm gonna give you a better look at this bear. We just got this giant sucker down off that steep hill. And this is an awesome bear. Look at the size of that front foot. Giant bear, bigger than the other one. Double white blaze right there. Looks like 2 lightning bolts. And just an absolute monster head. Unbelievable.
Dead center.
You know, a good buddy of mine asked me one time, what do I do with my odd end arrow shafts or broadheads once I get down to only having 1 or 2 left over? And my reply is, I always save them, because a big part of my knowledge has come from learning to test a lot of different combinations. And by saving those 1s and 2s that you have left over, you're going to be able to learn a lot from them when you get a new bow and you're really wanting to see what arrow pairs best with it. So what I like to do is I'll take some of my older arrows, I'll weigh them, you can write those weights down on the vanes, and then that allows you to either check different arrow weights through a chronograph if you want to know your speed, or you can shoot down range and just see what arrows are grouping high and low on the target. And that can tell you a lot about what type of setup you might want to have when you get a new bow. The other thing is, when it comes to broadheads, you know, if you have a broadhead and it starts getting a dull edge on it, the main thing is, as long as the blades are straight, these are some of the better things to have to practice with, because although a lot of the companies say that the practice heads that come with the arrows group the same, unless you've really compared that yourself, you really don't know for sure. But I can tell you that whether it's a fixed blade head or a mechanical head, I always go ahead and invest in practicing with the actual head itself. Buying a pack of replacement blades is a cheap investment. The last thing is my lighted nocks. Every year I've got several of these that have some blood or crud in them or start to lose their light. And what I do is I actually put them in my targets when I want to shoot in low light situations, or if I'm shooting 3Ds, I'll go ahead and light up those 12 rings by just sliding these nocks right in the dead center. If you want to have some fun shooting at night, take your family out, put some lighted nocks in the 12 rings, and let some arrows fly. Expand your archery knowledge with Nock On Podcasts, the highest level of world-class archery information available on either iTunes or at knockon.podbean.com. Hey everybody, well we're in the process of getting this hide cleaned up, get the skull boiled, and this is Bert, by the way. He's like my second dad. He's my hunting dad. And this Grizz has some amazing, I mean, he's got some history, doesn't he, Bert?
Oh boy, does he.
This skull, by the looks of it, when we skinned him out, we could tell that there was old bullet holes right through his, pretty much right through his belly. But then once we boiled the skull, we found out you can actually see where a bullet had gone through his mouth and through the jaw and completely blown that out. And then the teeth are unbelievable. Almost every one is cracked, broken, or bitten off. He had a snare. It looked like he had been caught in a snare and actually survived it. There's a perfect snare line all the way around his neck. And you actually think that you might have guided the hunter.
That's why I want to know the age of this bear. If I can find his exact age, I can tell you if it was that one or not.
Because you say 11 years ago.
Yeah. He was shooting downhill, and it lines up perfect, because it was a downhill shot, because it came in through and actually there.
And you thought it was a headshot when he dropped, and then when he was going, the hunter gave another shot.
Yeah.
He survived that. He survived, you wouldn't believe the scars and bite marks, and he grew up in a rough neighborhood, this guy. And the skull is pretty impressive as it is, but I think with the amount of beating this guy took through his life, he certainly probably could have been a lot bigger had he not grew up in the Bronx. On our last night of the hunt, I got behind the camera to try to film my good buddy Dusty on an awesome color phase bear. What makes British Columbia so much fun for a bow hunter is, just like with my two bears and my grizz, during the spring you can see that there's so much fresh, lush green that's popping up along the edges of these roads and in the new timber slashes. And these bears are trying to get their digestive systems going for the first time, so they really focus on eating that fresh green. And if you can catch a bear out feeding, then a lot of times you have the perfect opportunity to try to get in close for the shot. And if it doesn't work out, usually those bears will soon be right back in that area to feed once again.
Well, up here again at Lobo Peak, and as you can see, another awesome color phase. Spotted this guy from quite a ways off, made a really good stalk. He kind of busted me, so didn't have the ideal shot, and as you can see, he jumped the string pretty hard. So we left him for about an hour, hour and a half, went in on him, and as you can see here, having the right equipment, as John's talked about before, does the trick and helps out with the little mistakes we make. So couldn't be happier. Another awesome bear. Nock on.
Hey everybody, want to join the Nock On Nation? Go to knockonarchery.com to see our entire line of trendy Nock On gear. Enter promo code SHOWFAN and get a free signed photo from Dud. knockonarchery.com.
Nocked and ready to rock.
I want to talk with you about fletchings and how your fletching choices and fletching combinations can affect your accuracy. Now, if we go back many, many years, we were limited to shooting feathers, which were a great fletching option because they offered a tremendous amount of steering and control on an arrow. However, they're very time consuming for installation, and they're also much more maintenance when it comes to having these in rain or doing much travel with them. So we ended up gravitating towards plastic vanes, which are an awesome option because they adhere easy to a shaft, they travel better, and they also have much more durability. And if you'll notice, there's a wide variety of sizes and shapes now. And for example, for target archery, we shoot these smaller vanes just like this, simply because they offer so much more ballistic advantages downrange, because it's a minimal amount of drag so that we maintain more speed downrange, and we also have minimal drift whenever we have a crosswind. However, if you're shooting a broadhead or any type of blade on the front of your arrow, a small vane like that is not going to offer the steering that you need. So we've gravitated towards either longer vanes or shorter high profile vanes so that we can still have the control for a broadhead. Now, all of these are going to have slight advantages or disadvantages ballistically, because the more vane or more surface area that you have, the more drag you are also going to have to go with it. So if you're the type of archer that does more longer range shooting, you're going to need to try to find a shorter vane option that lets you keep your ballistic advantages. Now, if you're a tree stand hunter and you like shooting a big fixed blade head, then you're not going to have any problem sticking with the longer vein option. Now in a later episode, I'm going to show you how these different options can have different effects downrange.
Just gonna take my bath after that grizzly bear. Got a little stink going on still here. Oh my God!
To end this show, I'd like to share with you some of my old memories through photographs with these guys that have done so much for me. Bert, Dusty, Jeremy, and Cody, thanks guys so much.